Today I'm just going to talk a little bit about my paintball gear box. Now, for the longest time I was running with a bag. It was kind of messy, things were disorganized, and I really wanted to upgrade to something that was a little bit more durable and I could have better organization. Now, my particular gear box that I made, a lot of people have been interested in it when they've seen it at the field, and I just thought I'd have a short video to kind of show you. Now, this is just a standard trunk box that you could get from Walmart or Home Depot. So you have the availability to put a padlock on there if you want. When you open it up, one of the first things you'll notice is that I have a black pegboard in the back with these small bungee cords holding in all of my extra tools and accessories. I have my general marker parts up here, extra batteries, stuff for my sidearm, extra O-rings, my separate Allen key, multi-Allen key set. This is a denture brush, and I find it's really good for getting off all of the dried paint and other crap that gets in your marker after a day's play. And you also got this little rubber pick, and it's sometimes good at getting at O-rings or really dug in garbage in some of the holes in your barrel or small crevices in your gun. I have my handheld chronograph here. Obviously lots of microfiber wipes throughout the box. This one's just kind of tied up here. All my extra squeegees, spray bottle. I usually carry a knife too to help open bags of paint or other boxes. Spare barrel parts for both of my markers. This particular set, I've had multiple markers in here at one time. What I generally run with now is my primary gun, which I'll take out in a second, my sidearm, and a backup marker. And I have barrels for all three of them, as well as extra barrels. I have the 3 different HPA tanks that are in here. I usually end up landing a lot at the field, so this is an easier way to carry it. My toolkit, I have a separate compartment for in the back. And that I usually carry everything in it with the lube, all the tools, all my barrel condoms, extra tape, the usual stuff. Behind the toolkit, I always keep all of my spare manuals for the guns. And then I have another compartment in the front where I keep my primary marker, an extra towel, which is usually good for laying it out and working on it at the field so you don't lose any parts. The actual marker itself, this is just the TM15 that I roll with. And the bottom of it is actually lined with foam, and I'll show you a closer image of that in just a second. Now, for the other gear on the inside, my remote line, my remote fill line, extra barrel, apex tip, my sidearm case, and for my sidearm, I actually have been using the Kingman Eraser. I like this one a lot. I know some people have problems with 50 caliber as compared to just using 68, but for the size and for the price, it's a pretty good marker. It shoots really well. Also, inside here, you will see I have extra microfibers and my backup marker, and I'll show you underneath here I have all foam lined on the bottom so that the marker doesn't get banged around. Also, if you carry the spare towel in there, that usually helps keep it safe during travel as well. Now, the other thing I wanted to highlight, obviously I have my mask and my rip clip and a few other accessories in there as well. But the HPA tanks themselves are secured in with these PVC collars, which were screwed to the outside of the box. And if you notice, the inside of the collars, actually I have foam lining them, so there's no hard edges, no screws or anything that could potentially hurt or scratch, damage the tanks whatsoever. So they are pretty well secured. And I'll give you a closer shot of some of the pegboard, which I just, in a few spots, have screwed down to the lid. One thing I wanted to say about the bungees, if you weren't sure how to exactly attach these to the pegboard, what I usually did was cut one end where you have the metal hook on that side off, and if you can see that little metal part in there, the other end is on there. So I would just feed the open end through the other side for however big I wanted to have the cordage be, and then tie it off with a single overhand knot or double knot on the other side, just so that you can't pull it through. You can really tug on these and they're not going to come out. And the way to line them all up is pretty much just lay this down flat, whatever part you want to put there, align everything on the pegboard that you want, and then when you run the line, the bungee cord, out and over, just pull it behind it pretty taut so you don't have it moving around or shifting, and then tie it off in the back, and then you know it's going to fit that part specifically. And you can run a whole bunch of extras in there if you wanted to have CO2 cartridges or miscellaneous gear, but that's basically how I assembled this. Now, in terms of actual paintball storage, I don't keep any ammunition inside my actual gearbox, but I keep these separate ammo cans that you can get at any Army surplus store, and they work great. Inside this guy over here, I usually keep any extra bags of paintball that I have, and that'll hold usually at least 2,000 rounds, if not a bit more, in there. And that just closes up like that. If anybody knows what that says, by the way, let me know. I've never figured it out. And these ammo cans themselves, I usually keep either filled pods. Right now that's an empty pod in there, some of the extra CO2, and those are my 50 round caliber paintballs for my pistol. So usually I'll have these filled up, and they can hold about 5 to 6 full pods apiece. So I can run with about 10, 12 full pods if I'm not carrying my 50 caliber rounds in these cans, and that keeps them from getting crushed. It keeps them dry, and it's a great way to store your paintballs, and I like the look of them too. But anyway, so yeah, that's the entire setup I have for my gear storage, my paintball storage, and I might have some future videos talking about the rest of the gear that I have laying around here. But for now, that's it, and thank you guys for watching my video.